Humans are notorious for not being able to let go, so even when carmakers jump headfirst into the manufacturing of electric cars, we continue clinging to the models of the past. This fascination with classic designs is expected to flourish into a multi-billion-dollar industry, where old internal combustion models are retrofitted into EVs. Today we'll show you the latest sprouts of this emerging class of electric cars that combine the iconic gas-guzzling looks with innovative powertrains and tech of tomorrow. So subscribe to Automotive Territory if you want to follow the latest car news, and enjoy the ride! Aston Martin DB6 by Lunaz. The 1965 DB6 was the evolution of the legendary Grandeur driven by James Bond, and arguably one of the most iconic shapes ever conceived in metal. The British EV builder Lunaz Design sees that this classic would be accepted on the emission-free public roads of the future by swapping its 4-liter inline 6-cylinder. This collectible fastback is expected to get an 80 through 120 kWh battery with 255 miles of energy reserve and CCS fast charging. No info is available about the motor specifications, but judging by Lunaz's already operational electric models like Rolls-Royce, Bentley and Jaguar, it should get a similar 375 horsepower and 516 pound-feet of torque motor. The EV Aston Martin DB6 gets an indulgent yet animal-free interior with classic gauges and elements. Ford F-150 Eluminator. This 1978 F-100 recreation demonstrates Ford's capability to provide owners of their past models with a functional electric conversion solution. Fitted with a drivetrain from the Mustang Mach-E GT Performance, the truck gets a 68 or an 88 kWh battery and 2 electric motors. These produce 480 horses and 634 pound-feet, powering all 4 wheels. The concept also features custom roadster shop chassis and 19-inch forge-line wheels wrapped in Michelin Latitude sport tires. Inside there is a new aluminum dash by JJR Fabrication, avocado tanned leather upholstery, and a modern 15.5-inch touchscreen. According to Ford, the Eluminator will not be available for purchase, but those customers who want to build their own electric vehicle will be able to separately buy its E-Crate motor, which is rated for 281 HP and 317 pound-feet. Superformance MKIII E. Under this name hides a full replica of the 3rd generation 427 Shelby Cobra, this time however without the usual V8 engine. Instead, Superformance works with the Florida-based GoTech Performance to turn the Roadster into a bullet-fast EV. The chassis is first shipped to the GoTech facility, who installed the powertrain components generously donated by Tesla Model S P100D. A 405 horsepower motor is installed on the rear axle, while the 16 cells of the LG Chem battery were distributed between the front and rear sections of the car. On their first try, engineers only managed to squeeze in 31.2 kWh worth of cells, so the range is limited to 100 miles. The overall weight, however, was decreased by 100 pounds when compared to the conventional 427 V8. So this rear-wheel drive sports car remains as nimble as ever, especially riding on the super grippy, Nitto street-legal drag radials. Bronco Electric. Starting from 2022, any classic can be electric thanks to the skateboard platform designed by the LA Zero Labs. They demonstrate the capabilities of their EV chassis by reviving the 1960s and 70s legend, the original Ford Bronco. Among the few noticeable exterior changes are the backlit grille and LED headlights. Performance-wise though, this SUV is on a whole new level. The dual-motor 600 horsepower powertrain represents a 400% improvement over the original. It is juiced by an 85 or 100 kWh battery that supports level 2 recharging and should cover 190 or 235 miles. The Zero Labs Bronco can be ordered with the Brembo GT Performance brakes, adjustable Fox Racing shocks coilovers, or a premium air ride suspension. Its cabin keeps the retro vibes with the handmade wood or classic body color panels, vegan leather upholstery, and a make-believe shifter. But it also has a premium power-adjustable seating and digital gauges. Let's make a push for the development of electric cars. All you need to do is smash the like button for the YouTube algorithm and write a comment below saying I want more electric cars. Thanks, and let's proceed. Porsche 356 Electrogenic. This British electric vehicle conversion specialist delivered their first electric example of the Porsche 356. Following the customer's request, Electrogenic left the car's exterior identical to what had rolled out from the factory assembly line in 1964. Under the skin, however, the old 1.6-liter Boxer was replaced with an air-cooled net-gain Hyper 9 motor, producing 120 horsepower and the maximum torque of 173 pound-feet. Next, Electrogenic fitted a 35 kWh battery pack rated for a 140-mile trip. The pack can recharge at 15 kW, which allows it to be fully reduced in under 2.5 hours. The tuner also retained the original 4-speed manual gearbox. However, if you're ready to sacrifice this option, Electrogenic can install a higher torque e-motor. Last but not least, in both cases, this conversion remains fully reversible. Land Rover Defenders by Ava. Hidden in the wilds of the Wicklow Mountains of Ireland, the Ava studio follows the path of transforming the most desirable British classic cars to electric. At the core of their portfolio are the original Land Rover Defenders in 90 and 110 bodies. The two-door Arctic Ava is the pinnacle of sustainable choice with a carbon fiber bonnet, vegan leather interior, reclaimed ocean plastics piping, and reclaimed wood. In turn, the Croxford Defender is a four-door modification of the model. It was envisioned and designed with Stuart Croxford, a former captain of the Duke of Lancaster's regiment. This build has military-inspired design, bespoke metallic desert sand paintwork with contrasting glass black accents, carbon fiber elements, Recaro seats, and Starlight headliner. The company equips these Defenders with a 100 kWh battery. But since this model is a heavy aerodynamic nightmare, the maximum range will not exceed 200 miles, though 0 to 60 is still brisk 5.5 seconds. Electrogenic Karmann Ghia. Made for one of the company's founders, Steve Drummond, this one-of-a-kind retrofit built on the 1970 VW Karmann Ghia. First, the model was restored to the perfect condition by another UK-based shop, Type 2 Detectives. They also painted this Ghia into bright orange exterior hue that now additionally accentuates its electrified nature. Next, Steven and his Electrogenic team removed the two-doors stock 4-cylinder engine and replaced it with net-gain Hyper 9 motor rated for 173 pound-feet. In the process, they still managed to keep the original gearbox. Underneath the bonnet, where the fuel tank used to be, the company installed 4 modules of the Tesla batteries and another 3 in the boot. We do not know the total capacity of the pack, but the car is promised to offer around 140 miles of range. E-Legend EL1. This model is not a simple retrofit or resto mod. Instead, it is an all-new supercar that borrows inspiration from the rally-bred Audi Sport Quattro from the 1980s era. The EV is the creation of a former VW designer Markus Holzinger, and it is built in cooperation with the German technological specialist Roding Automobile. It sits on a 2-axis carbon fiber monocoque, while its drivetrain system is represented by dual electric motors enabling all-wheel drive and a 90 kWh battery pack good for 264 miles on the road. The setup is rated for 816 horses, and it can support fast charging up to 350 kW. On track, you can expect the EL1 to last 2 laps on Nürburgring. It speeds to 60 in 2.8 seconds, takes 8.5 to reach 124, and tops out at 186 miles per hour. To do this, the car relies on a 3-way adjustable suspension, LED lighting, performance brakes, and camera mirrors. Lingenfelter eLcamino EV. One of the classiest and most popular models of the past gets a new life with the help of the US tuner Lingenfelter and Chevrolet Performance. Instead of the large V8 engine, this 1972 model relies on a new electric powertrain that looks nearly identical to the setup showcased by GM at the 2020 SEMA show. This means that the eLcamino V is likely to produce 200 horsepower and 266 pound-feet of torque. Similarly, we would expect that a 66 kWh battery pack would be sitting in its bed. Unlike many of the other EV resto mod projects, this coupe truck hybrid does not undergo extensive bodywork changes. So the only notable styling departures from the original are the new forged line wheels and 2 black stripes on the hood. Hyundai Grandeur Electric. Introduced to the market in 1986, the Grandeur was a flagship executive sedan that was offered to the buyers with 4-cylinder and V6 power. To mark its 35th anniversary, Hyundai is reimagining the car as an EV with the original chassis, minimal bodywork changes, and a modernized interior. The drivetrain components come from the new Ioniq 5. The exterior lighting gets replaced by modern pixelated heads and tail lamps with LED units. Inside the cabin, this concept keeps a retro vibe, with its single-spoke steering wheel and over-the-top interior finished in Napa leather and velvet. The modern age is represented by a wide screen on the dash, a vertical display on the center stack, and an 18-speaker audio. Do you believe that retro cars should keep their iconic internal combustion engines, or is this electrification spree a good thing for the classics and their ability to drive on modern roads? Share your opinion in the comments below and mention your top picks from the lineup. Subscribe to Automotive Territory, ring the bell, smash the like button, and watch more. Easy, right? Thank you, and may the torque be with you!